All right, let's see what's going on here. Let's see if we can get this working. All right, so we are working in the home lab, and I figured I'd build some stuff out, hang out a little bit, see where some of our stuff is in the lab here. Haven't touched some of this in a few days, so I figured we'd mess around, build it out a little bit, and see. Oh, did we build out a Rocky 810 box? That sounds like something we would have done, or we were working on the other day. Maybe we never got around to fixing it. I don't remember where we went there. Alright, alright. So let me think of what we're doing here. So we got a bunch of different templates here. These are all older boxes, older types of boxes, so we might be... Yeah, the missus actually was home for a few hours, and then she had to... So there's kind of a really weird situation. She has a friend who... her friend's father died, and the viewing is... No, the viewing already happened. Now it's like the actual funeral tomorrow morning. So she had to go. This is super weird. My wife never normally has to do this, but at 9 at night, she had to go and do her friend's hair. So her friend was like, "Hey, can you come over like pretty late and do my hair for me?" So she's out doing her friend's hair. So yeah, and then she'll come home. So she's been doing hair for a long time, and this girl needed that. How's it going, Boris? Over on the YouTube side, yeah, we'll probably check in on Ranger a little bit. We need to decide what we're doing in the lab here. We're probably going to deploy a new VM here, and then we don't have a good template. All our templates are older box types down here. These are all older, like when we were deploying off CentOS 7, so that's years ago. And we need to probably, on this box, do a little, let's see, how's our lab doing? Oh, let's also make sure we reclaim any free space, if it'll work for us. And, oh, we already got a notification that there's some type of error. And what's the error? Failed operation. I wonder if it's because one of the boxes is on. Let's go back and look at that real quick. Let's turn him off for now. Shut him down. And then, once he turns off, then we'll give it the old shot. Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of a late one until the wife gets home, and then we'll go to bed. I'm pretty tired, so. Then I don't know if all you guys have long weekends. I got a pretty good long weekend, so that's good. And then, I don't know, hopefully I didn't miss anything. It looks like Neuron Collider subscribed with Prime, so that's always cool. We're just going to build some stuff out in the lab a little bit. Yeah, you're welcome to hang out, Killa. We're just kind of chilling. It was cool in Phoenix today, but my house still got warm enough to need to put the AC on. It was weird. I don't know if it's just a lot of sun. Oh, also, my solar collector on my roof has been down for the entirety of this month, and they're not going to get a new part out here until the end of this month. So we're going to lose all of February as far as collecting solar, so that's fun. Yeah, that's fun. All right. So that's all off. That box should go completely off. I'm just curious if this reclaiming free space will work. Even now that all the nodes are down. Nope. That's all fine. But why is that? Oh. Alright. Guess that's not going to do it. Alright. So let's go over here. Let's deploy a new VM. And we won't use a template. We'll just say the closest thing to what we're going to be doing would be Rel 8, even though that's not quite accurate. And we're going to go ahead and call him, we'll call him Rocky. Oh, sorry, he's going to be C Router 2. That's going to be his name. His installation media is going to come from the NFS ISO library, and that's going to be Rocky 9.4, right? So then we're going to boot. We can boot from BIOS, that's fine. And then we're going to stand him up. He will have 2 CPUs, that's fine, and he can do 4 gigs of RAM. That's perfectly fine for a little C router box. He needs a little more space on the disk, so we're going to give him 30 gigs. That's fine for a little router box. And then we'll say that's fine. He'll be on lab internal. He is going to get a different network. We're going to have to make a new network, but we can do that after. Let's go ahead and start this VM up. And then we're going to have to install it and do all that stuff. What did we do for dinner, Boris? We did, there's a place out here called Japan Express. So we went and had Japan Express. It was pretty good. But we're working in the lab. That's why my little penguin down there is wrapped up in cables. In case you guys missed that. He's sitting in a data center wrapped up in cables. I thought that was pretty funny, so I decided to use that as my little avatar here. I think it's funny. All right. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. Setting these up, messing around with it a little bit. Let's go make sure that the networking's right here. We have lab internal. And then we will also have, so this other box that's doing the same basic thing, he's got all the Rocky boxes internal. He's doing something similar where he's got network 0, and then for all of his devices, he's got, so these guys, their networking is all on lab internal for their VLAN 1. Yeah. And then network 0 is, oh wait, shoot, where is that? Hold on. What's going on here? This guy. All right. What the hell? I was wondering what the hell was going on. I was in the wrong one. Yeah, so both of these are connected. Lab internal, NIC 0, VLAN 1, and then network 0. So we're going to have to do that same thing off of the same NIC for this other box over here. So let's just set that up now. These are both off of NIC 0. They're both up and connected, yes. So lab internal and network 0. Okay, good. Let's get C router up. His interface is on lab internal and network 0. That works for me. So let's get his console and let's see what it looks like when he's getting installed. So, yeah. So me and the wife hung out for a few hours, and then she had to go do that thing with her friend, who, again, her friend was out till late, doing the family thing and the viewing and everything, and then her friend's doing, the hell's going on here? I don't care about that check. Start up. Care about no check. The ISO's fine. We weighed it. It has been weighed, it has been measured, and it has not been found wanting. It's the same exact file we downloaded, right? We know that from the hashes. So there's no reason to redo it for anything. Sorry guys, I'm yawning. Yeah, so this is what we're doing. I'm just working in the lab, building out this last little part over here of the hammer block stuff that we were talking about. We're going to make a 192.168.220.0 network. We'll do that here in a second. Once C router gets done booting up. So, building out a new box, turn them into a router, and then we should be good. We also might need to come over here and reference my IP tables just in case. And also we also might need to reference that. So fact, I might just grab this all. Let me see. I might just grab all this as an image because I might be needing to grab that as an image real quick. And then I'll just move that off to the side in case I need it. Move it off to the side over here. Out of the way. We don't need it. Might need it later. There we go. Alright. And also I'm going to zoom in on it because, geez, I can't even read it on that other machine. Or on that other window. It's like every window I move it to, it gets smaller and smaller. It's kind of funny. Alright. I think we got that good for now. Back to C router over here. We got to build them. So we'll continue with English. Now, interestingly enough, we'll let automatic partitioning happen. I'm fine with that. We're not going to do server with a GUI. We're going to do server, general server. And we will take, he doesn't need any of these necessarily. I do like performance tools and system tools. Other than that, he should be fine. He doesn't need anything special. So we'll take that, leave him kind of, I wouldn't call him quite bare bones, but he could be a little less. Yeah, Knight's Tale, great. Great movie. Should save those screenshots. Yeah. I just throw them into, yeah. I will sometimes just catch. I don't need anything special on them. Let's give him a root password. Just the home lab one that I use. We don't need any of this, but I am curious. So, the IP address on this one, 192.168.200.85, that's interesting. Couple things. I need to change this VLAN. He can't be the same VLAN as the other one. He's going to see him. So we're going to change his properties to, let's set his, oh gosh, we're going to have to, this is annoying. Let's come to his networking and remove lab internal real quick. We're not going to be able to do it. God damn it. We're going to have to turn him off. All right, we're going to install him. We'll install him and then we'll do it. Let's just turn off that interface for now. We don't care about any of this stuff. Yeah, see, this one's on the right network. That's fine. We don't need to change any of this. Don't need to change any of this. Date and time is Arizona. That's good. All right. Oh, they just want to make sure that we're partitioning it the way we want. That's fine. And then should be good. All right. Start the install. Sit around and talk for a little bit. Those of you that missed earlier, what we were doing was we went through just a bunch of job boards that we've been going through, and I posted all this up in the Discord. So if you're like, hey, I'm looking for a job in the Linux world, I basically went through over the last few months every time we had talked about it, and you know, if somebody was asking you about troubleshooting, I gave you some ideas to go look at. Obviously some of the stuff like updated, escalated technical support issues, that's just a thing you have to do. But then, you know, just talking about the different things that you might have to do in your normal course of duties. It also, you know, as a Linux systems administrator, it got to almost 1,200 lines. So I think there's some good stuff in here, you know, installing some of the things you might need to know, monitoring, building, maintaining, like just there's a lot of info in there. So anyways, we did that earlier for people that want to kind of go back and watch that, or if you need to get it out of the Discord, it's all in there. So, yeah, tomorrow, how's it going? Thanks for giving everybody the Discord. I'll go drop that on the YouTube side if anybody wants it. We've got, man, we're getting up close to 3,600 people, so that's kind of cool. Cool thing about Discord, it's free. I don't charge you anything for it. I don't think Discord charges you anything for it. I mean, I think they, you know, I think they track you and stuff, but other than that, I mean, who's not tracking you nowadays, right? Everybody's tracking you. Even other countries want to track you nowadays, right? So, it is what it is. All right. So I'm gonna do something down here because I did not know. Actually, that brings up a really interesting. Well, now we got a really interesting thing to think about, because I was building this on its own network, because this lab network is VLAN 1, right? And this lab network over here, or the primary network, is well, it's untagged, I guess. But my device that popped up over here actually got it got the DHCP from this, meaning technically I can just boot a device over here and it should come up as a Werewolf server. So that leads us to an interesting thing. We may be able to just run Werewolf here. I had not thought about doing this, but we might just be able to keep this Werewolf and extend it over this other range of servers. I didn't even think about doing that. But I just, when we were just looking at C router, his interface that's on VLAN 1 was able to communicate with this device here. And you say, well, how do you know that? Because he got the 200 internal address. 200 being served as an IP range is only going to happen from this box right here, the DHCP on this box. What would someone have to know when they have this hypervisor, ESXi, Hyper-V, and Nutanix? What I've had to use hypervisor for tends to be to get console to boxes. I need to be able to attach ISOs to them. That's a pretty straightforward process. Just click around until you find it. You need to know how to add disks to it. You need to know how to add or remove CPU, and when you can, you probably need a little bit of knowing how to just right click and like vMotion things. And before you vMotion things, you need to make sure that the device that it's going to go to has the same VLANs. There's some rudimentary checks in in vMotion and that kind of stuff, but you can do your own kind of checks and just say, okay, this system's got these VLANs. If I want to go over there, this device is connected to these VLANs and it'll work or whatever. Standing up systems and template and making backups. Yeah, and snapshots, and just also know the difference between a snapshot and a backup, right? Like a snapshot is keeping track of all the changes between the last snapshot and that one, and snapshots start to really have a lot of stuff. Yeah, DRS, yeah, DRS is, I think, the dynamic part of vMotion, right? When I learned it back in the early 2000s, it was all just vMotion, but I think DRS manages that now, yeah, and virtual SANs, yeah. So, you know, I mean, I've been in environments where almost everything's the same, but one or two VLANs are missing on certain machines, so you really can't move over to those other machines. But if they're supposed to be available for systems to move to, then that's one of these things where it's like, well, wait a minute, we need to use this, we need to tag this correctly. All right, so we need to guys, in this system, while this one's building, we're going to do something else. We're going to come over here, right? And we're going to, not this box, we're going to go this box. And we are going to, we're going to do something fun. We are going to exit out of here. We're going to do our node list, right? And then we're going to do a history, grep-i node, and I think the last time we built a node, like the last time I made a new node, it just looked like this, right? So node add whatever. So this was our Kafka box, right? When we were building Kafka. We might do, let's make another node just for fun, and we're gonna call him Rocky. Well, let's call him Hammer 1, and we're gonna put him up in the range. Let's call him 200, and let's call him 150, right? Because these all started at 51. So we'll call him 151 because nothing's being used up in that range. So let's just add that real quick, right? Oh, what am I thinking? WWCTL, guys. Added node hammer, right? So, and then I say WWCTL node list dash A grep, hammer 1, right? There's the information about hammer 1. Whoops. He's got the Rocky Linux 9 lab, which is the default lab for him. Okay. And then he should be set to discoverable is true. So the next device that tries to boot up is going to become hammer 1, right? So the reason I do that is because of this. I should be able to just come down here and build a new VM, right? And I won't give him, it doesn't really matter what we give him. We'll give him Rocky. It's fine, I don't care. Call him hammer 1. Lowercase. Hammer 1, right? No media install. He's going to boot from the network. And then we'll place him on here. He's going to have 2 just like all his buddies and 4. Okay. Nothing. Storage will be, we'll give all of these guys, actually these guys don't even really use it, so we'll just give them 20. And then, that's fine for now. His networking is going to be on lab internal. And then we're going to give him, that'll work. All right. So now, one thing we're going to do on this box is he boots up. So he'll come up right here as hammer 1. Is Control A, escape. We're going to come up here. And we're going to go see, was there a command that I did in here when I was setting up Kafka? We added Kafka. We did all that. Yeah, we didn't do... Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't have to set him... He is already in discoverable mode. So, yeah, I didn't have to ever hard set. This should be the next one that's grabbed. That is what should happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a tail... CTL overlay build hammer 1. Just do that just for fun. And then, yeah. Good. Okay, so tail -f on var log werewolf to watch him boot. And yeah, so this box booted up and thinks he's hammer 1, but there was probably an error because if I had to guess, he didn't have, oh, maybe he did already have it built. All right, so this will be interesting because if this is done, then all we got to do is start defining nodes over there in Werewolf, and then we can build this whole cluster right here without having to like do any work. We'll just start we'll just clone these over and start turning them on, and they'll just keep becoming this range of hammer. So this will be hammer. That's pretty cool. I didn't even think about those being able to just be in their own. They can be 169. Right, like that. And then this will just be an extension of this network. This will all be, in fact, that can go away. This will just come over, right, like this. This guy, serial 2 will go away. And all of this will go away. And these guys will literally just be part of all this. So all we gotta do is watch it boot once, right? Once we get it to work once, we're good. Next thing we know, we got the whole cluster going. And speaking of that, I have a whole bunch of high school students I'm going to talk to on Wednesday morning with the career and technical education for the Peoria High School. Well, it's they're part of the Peoria School District, but they're kind of off on their own. They're a thing called West Mech. Yeah, look at that, it's booting up. we're gonna have the hammer. So we're gonna have the hammer nodes up. So I can I was gonna be, man, that's gonna be interesting. I was gonna have all the high school students just hop out into Killer Coda, but now I could probably have them do Killer Coda and have some have access to the lab. So that's pretty cool. That's a lot of added capacity. I didn't even. That's gonna be good. That will be good. I didn't even think about just expanding VLAN 1 like that. Having it on its own. Oh, tomorrow, yeah. Back to your thing. If I didn't finish answering that, I would know how to jump into consoles. I would know how to move stuff. I would know how to verify that it had or hadn't moved properly. I would make sure that I know how to go look at the templates, which are basically just VMDKs sitting there, and yeah, and then Boris is saying DRS, HA, vSANs, and VAMI. I don't even know what VAMI is. I mean, I got certified in VMware in like 2010, I think it was. So it's been so long. So let's see. We get the console up over here, and then over here. Hammer 1's coming up. Well, we're not quite up yet. See how we're getting that error message? Boom. So, what happened to my Discord? I don't know. Looks like it's still there to me. Is Discord messed up? I don't, yeah, look, Ken, I don't think I have anything wrong with the Discord that I know of. Is it not working for you? Some people, when they try to connect, it doesn't always work. Sometimes you have to go into like a incognito or something like that, because for some reason there's some weird time thing in some browsers. But that link should be forever, the link that I have up. And sometimes people just go into another one, it just drops them in. The thread's only on your channel now? Huh. I say it's threads only? I don't. I mean, I can go look at that. Hold on. I'm gonna go check my let me go see if something weird's been happening here. Hold on. Audit log. Streamer mode enabled. Hold on. Oh, apparently I can't go in there while we're doing something, but it went away. Oh, yeah, look, Discord's been having like massive problems for a lot of people the last few weeks. For me, it's been the last probably 2 weeks. And if I just leave it open, it doesn't open, like it just goes to a black screen. I have to minimize it and bring it back up. So it's kind of weird. Yeah, tomorrow. There's also that, man. A lot of people are moving, but it's going to be a slow process. I mean, big companies are going to take years to get off of VMware, even if they really want to. That's not a thing you just rip out overnight. The knowledge and the skills and the other stuff. Interestingly enough, if Hammer is really... Oh, wait a minute. Let's exit. The Hammer box is not set. He is not set to this newest one, right? This newest, whoops, most patched one. So let's set him to that. Yeah, see, he's set to this old one. So we'll set him up to this newer one. So, www.ctl, oops. We're going to do history, grep-i container. And then we're going to www.ctl node set container for this one to hammer 1. Yes. www.ctl overlay, build, hammer 1, right? And then we're going to SSH to hammer 1 and reboot. Reboot. There we go. Whoops. If I could type. All right, there we go. Rebooting him. Now we'll watch him reboot over here, and we'll make sure that he comes up right. Yeah, Locan, that is weird. I can tell you guys, there's some weird stuff I've seen over the years with Discord, especially around. We had a thing last year. We did the Linux Systems Admin Group, and we came down to, we had on this one event right here. We got 28 people right now saying they're coming, but we had 208 people. And then I flew over to Hawaii, and I was working in Hawaii it was like early November, and it wiped, or late October, early November, and it wiped all those users down to 0. And then I went in, I looked at all the admin stuff, and there was nothing there. Nobody had done it, nobody had deleted them and recreated them. They were all just gone. So it was super weird. Yeah, Discord's not like the most reliable, but for the price of free 99, I mean, I'll take it, right? It's free, so I mean, it's a good place for us to hang out. We get to talk shop. There's an event tomorrow for people that want to go hang and talk with other people that are doing Linux stuff. They're deploying a bunch of stuff in up in Ansible. In GitHub rather. They're building the book that comes from the free lessons. So we have all the lessons out here. You can go to Discord. You can go down here to, for anybody, Prolog Projects. There's all the free stuff right here. 16 weeks worth of all this stuff. And they're turning that into a book that you'll just be able to download and work through. So the next time we do the class in March, which is coming up, right? It's coming up. It's not too far. When we run it again, you'll just be able to run it off that GitHub page and just pull everything down. You won't have to just go and grab everything piecemeal each week, which I think is good. I think people enjoy that. The simplicity of just getting it from one spot, You still got to do a whole lot of work. There's a whole lot of work involved, but I think it's valuable for people, And for free, I mean, it's pretty good for free. So, all right, let's let this box come up. The reason I knew that wasn't on the right image was because, for any of you guys that are wondering, the reason I knew that wasn't on the right image was because we didn't have the dev message. We know when we're in dev, right? Oops. Shoot, we gotta go up here. Let's go back here, and then we'll ping hammer 1. It's probably almost up. Yeah, he's coming back up, but he's not quite all the way up yet. So we're gonna wait for him to finish booting, and then we're gonna SSH over into him. Yep, he's still setting up his SC Linux, so we'll give him a little bit of time, and then we'll go. So. Yeah, that's what we do. Hang out, build out labs. The hammer block range, I think, is going to be a fun little thing for people that haven't done that kind of stuff before. Because we're going to be doing a securing Linux version of the sysadmin. So we're going to do a sysadmin, but it's going to be kind of more advanced, and it's going to be focused on the securing of Linux. We touch on that in the Linux sysadmin course, but when we do the securing Linux, it's going to be more like Linux security engineering stuff. It's going to be like hard setting things for the system. Yeah, those are just warnings. Those are fine. I'm fine with a few warnings, as long as they don't stop the system from working. So we'll give it a sleep 30, hammer 1, sit here and talk for a little bit, and then it'll go off, and we'll know if we go into hammer 1 with the correct stuff because he'll have the dev message. And actually, we want to go pick a new message, so maybe we'll go do that too real quick. we need to pick a new message for that, and we probably want to split him. Probably like clone this and then save it as its own that'll be good. Yeah, there we go. Now we're in the right one. All right, so let's go look for the important stuff in life, right? Which is ASCII art, and we're gonna call it hammer. Let's call it hammer block, and let's test all and see which of these do we think looks good. That's not bad. Let me know if you guys like any of those. And then the names are down here at the bottom. That's not bad. The Doom one's not bad. Alright. Yeah, you know, ghosts and that kind of stuff. Those are a little too... Some of these are too big. That one doesn't look too bad. JS brackets. Modular's a little too hammy for me. Ogre looks okay. Ogre's kind of the smaller little guy. Go drop Ogre in his own. That might be a little too big though. All right. We may have the problem of just the name is too big. That's not bad either, huh? Hammer block. Oh. Let me see any of these I like. Slant isn't bad. Slant looks like what's it called? Kind of like a Tron message or something. That one's kind of cool. This one's you see how this is raised up? There's one that's raised up, but it's just the hold on, let me see if I can find it. It's like Excite Bike. If you guys remember the old game Excite Bike. Where's that one? It's kind of raised up like the one we were just looking at. Oh, that's terrible. No, none of these. Bears. Ugh. Those are hard to look at. That one's not bad. Chunky's not bad. Hold on. Where's this one I'm thinking of? No, those are all terrible. Oh, just terrible. Terrible. No, they're probably good for their reasons, right? Like, I think they're probably fine for what they would look good for. They're just not for this project. Everett's not bad. Is that Everett? Come on. Oh. Better. Alright. I just want to show you guys this one. Oh. No. They look like, that's terrible. It's hammer block, but mirrored backwards, starting in the right order, though. That's hard to look at. Alright. Oh, no. Where's this one? This one. So see, it's hammer block, but it's done just raised up, and it looks like the old game Excite Bike. If any of you guys remember Excite Bike, that one was fun. I wouldn't want that. This is called Peaks and Slant. I mean, it's fun, but not probably for this. Oh, Rammstein. That's not bad. Yeah, we're good on all that. We don't need any of these. Rounded doesn't look bad. And plus, I mean, obviously you're going to be looking at it with black backgrounds. Killer pitch deck. Yeah. Hammer block's not bad. Small keyboard. So anyways, guys, if you ever need this, there's just so many of these. I'll link this to you guys that want it. I've linked this before, but this is a nice little thing. If you just want little fun stuff. Obviously, I just do little stuff on my project here, you know, just here's my my dev servers, you know, you know what you're in. When we were doing troubleshooting was in its own setup. Um, but I do really like that I can just expand. I'm just gonna expand werewolf over these other nodes, and that's how we're gonna do it. Um, we need to figure out what we want to do with the hammer block nodes, and then start standing them up and make sure that we have the right setup, right? Make sure that we have, um, like how. Here's the question: like, how do we want to logically do this? So the hammer block competition was about getting people in and having them basically just have open warfare on systems. You could do anything you wanted to get into the systems. People nowadays, you call it a lot like capture the flag, but it was much more of it was different in a few ways. One, you were in an open, persistent zone against anybody. Two, you had, like, as teams, you had sets of nodes that you could get to, and I can do that. I can have sets of teams, and people can just get into the nodes that they are supposed to get into, but then everything in the range is within limits to take over or to attack. Everything in the .200 range would be fair game. You could scan it, you could enumerate it, you could do whatever you wanted to it within that .200 range, so that's a game that we used to play. Some of you guys know this. This is a game we used to play at Lockheed Martin. So I can actually move all this. This can actually come over now to here. Back over to here because it looks a little cleaner. And this can come back over to here. Boom. And then that's just going to extend to this whole range now. So that'll be, yeah. Yeah, when we used to play this, we played it pretty hard, and it was not about it was not about like, hey, this is a node and this is like a scenario you're going through. It was open range stuff. We had open range, do whatever we wanted in there. I don't know. I think people might like that. I think for sure my guys that want to focus on the security side of things will want to do that. So we can do that. I can also set this up. Hey, Shy Hat, how's it going? Hopefully the night is still young for you and you're not crashing out too early or anything. But thanks for the raid. What we're doing here is I just have myself set up in lab mode. I'm normally on stream. I was on stream earlier, but tonight, since we're in lab mode, we've got the Linux Penguin up there just sitting captive in the data center. And we are hip hip hack. Yeah, I like that. Actually, we were talking about a tool called Hammer Block that we used to use at Lockheed Martin, and we were building out the range for it right now. And the way the Hammer Block competition that we used to run went, well, actually, me and some of the guys competed in it, but there was about 400 engineering groups throughout Lockheed Martin that would go get involved, and we had just an open range warfare of just cybersecurity stuff. So it was kind of a fun little thing that we used to do. And I was thinking of setting it up because I have systems in the home lab that everybody can get to, the Rocky systems. Anybody that's in our Discord, anybody that wants to do Linux engineering and practice stuff can get in there and do all of our labs from our Linux systems admin course, right? But this other extension, the Hammer Block range, would just be where you guys could go in there and just mess around with everything. And we would probably do at least 2 teams. I could work it up to maybe where I let people pick teams. So I'll do that in the security admin course when we start getting ready for that. It'll actually probably be called security engineering, but I'll let the guys do that. Yeah, local Ken. If I do that, I'll let guys pick team captains, and I'll give the team captain. Authenticate. Yeah. Have you seen local? Have you seen how I do my authentication in the Home Lab? If you guys have never seen this, this is fun. So in Home Lab, right? Actually, we'll do it up here in the top screen for you guys. So this box exists in the DMZ out in the world over here, and when you jump into him, when you jump into this machine, which is at prolug.asus.com, you get into, if you come in as a streamer user, and then I have to go off of my own address because I'm locked out. But you guys would come in off of this address here, right? Without the 34 one. That's for guacamole. That's a different way in. But anyways, you would come in off of that address there, prolug.asus.com, and then you would need to know the password. And then you get dropped into a chroot jail, and you have 10 seconds to do something in this jail. Otherwise, you're getting kicked out. So if I don't do anything, I'm going to get kicked out. And if I do go in there and say that I want to get in, then I'll go to like Rocky 2, and I'll be sent over to Rocky 2. And if I were to go to this other node, right? Whoops. Did not mean to do that. Right? If I throw that to wall, it'll come up on this other terminal that's in the system up here, right? Even though you guys just saw me go out. And then, yeah, Shy Hat, thanks for trusting your community here. You guys are always welcome to hang out. We're just talking shop, doing a little bit of Linux, and I'm just mainly cleaning up the home lab and making sure things are good for everybody. So, yeah, have some fun. And real quick here, where was I at? This box. I wanted to show you guys. If I exit out, I zipper all the way out. I don't stay in the Bastion node. I get kicked all the way out. And the way you set up a Bastion is super easy. You set up a chroot jail. So if we just say tail dash, well, we'll just say tail on etc ssh sshd config. At the bottom of this, if you come in as streamer 1, you get treated to this jail, var chroot. If you come in as the tshoot user or any of these ones, you get these chroots that I built, right? And I deploy these via Ansible, so they're super easy to deploy. I can show you guys how those work. But anyways, if you cd into var chroot, this is all you get in that environment. So if we go to bin, you've got your bash, curl, and ssh. Those are the only things you can do in that environment. And the bastion.sh script is just, you're going to do this thing, and you've got 10 seconds to do it. Otherwise, the entirety of your shell, because that's your whole shell, your whole environment kicks you out. So it's kind of a, I don't want to call it a trite thing, but it's a super simple thing to do that ends up just being pretty secure, because you're bringing everything across and in that jail. And then if you ever need to cut the bastion so nobody else can get in or out, drop all connections, you can do that by just shutting down that system, shutting down this P01 Jumpo 1, or I can cut out the user, I can kill all the sessions, I can turn off that jail and nobody would have connections in. Or there's a bunch of things we can do to protect the internal system with that. So I don't know, it's just a thing. It's a way, and then I have it up in my GitHub, right, for people that want to go dig in and say, how does that work? Well, it's called Stream Setup, and then it's just Ansible playbook that shows you how to set up a bastion, right? And it's role-based, so you go down into tasks, and then here's like the main task. And you can go look at how we're adding or removing a user. I do run it through Tower or AWX, which is the Tower clone on the outside, if you're not paying Red Hat, right? We set up streamer 1, give them a bastion.sh. We just set everything up, build the jail down here. And then we also delete it if you do the call the other way. So that's how a bastion works, to give people access in. And then they get automatically shot, again, right out of this box as like a jailed user, right over into this environment here, which we just expanded to now have the hammer 1. and then we could build it really quickly to have all these different hammer systems. But I got to think, like, if we are going to do it as teams, I need to set up, I would probably set up each team. Here's how I would do it. And then I would give the captains the username and the password, and they can distribute it only to their team. You know, that's probably the way I would do it. Because if I do it that way, then they're responsible for their who's got access to their stuff. I can even have a facility in there for them to change their password, I guess, if they really wanted to. So we could do that if we needed to. All right, hold on real quick. I gotta check some stuff. Like, I guess if you kick somebody off your team. Hmm. All right. So, hopefully that's a good enough kind of little explanation of what we're working on here. Let's come back down here. So, Hammer 1 has all the things. We've extended that range over, which saves us from having to build another werewolf. So that's actually pretty awesome. Which means that I can probably just pump up this box a little bit, and he'll be fine. He'll be one of the devices off limits in that range. Obviously, well, actually, you know what? I guess I just clone him, and then we could just rebuild him if we have to. It's always scary if you set something up for like open warfare for people, and then you have one thing that's off limits. That's always going to be the thing people are going to probe the most. You know, people are going to mess with it, obviously, in the environment. So, yeah. So, anyways, that's something more on the security side that I know some of the guys have been wanting. And then I haven't set a date for that course yet. We have a date for people hanging out. We've got a date for the Linux sysadmin course. So people that just want to get into Linux systems administration, that's starting on March 22nd. I'm going to run a second group of that. We just ran a bunch of people through it. We had like 208 people start out, and we had about 10 people finish it. It's challenging, right? It's 16 weeks, and that's a 16-week course. We're going to do round 2. And it's going to start on that day. 3 p.m. is my time. If you look at it in your time, it'll tell you in your time what that is, right? Free. We're not charging anything. I never have. Anything in the Discord is always free for you guys to play with. There's also a little writer's room if you want to go and hang out with people tomorrow. There's some guys working on some really cool stuff so that instead of having to pull it all piecemeal, you can have the whole book as one unit, right? All right. But that, yeah, you don't have to go grab all this stuff piecemeal right here. That being said, though, I have a Linux sysadmin course with a security focus that I've been, yeah, this is my security course idea. We're going to probably have to change it to 16 weeks, and then I've got the first 9 weeks kind of set up. But I might make these other ones, it may just stay at 8 weeks, but there may be 2 units per week. Because this will be all the defensive stuff, because this is all defensive here. This is all what we do to secure the systems. And then over here, we'll have like a split, and then we'll also be running all the offensive stuff for people that want to do the offensive stuff. I think that might be kind of fun for people. Again, fun is fine, but I think people want to get jobs, right? Like, people want to do this stuff professionally, and that's the goal. Getting you guys in here and getting you feeling comfortable doing this stuff. So that's kind of my thoughts about it. That's where I'm at. All right. Get this out there. Discord's there. I think we're almost to 3,600 people in there. Where were we at? Oh, we were just making these up. We were grabbing these from around. What else? What else do we have around here? We could keep building these out now. Now that we have one, basically we built one. Now we could build them all if we wanted to. That would be fun because actually once we have them all built and let's see what the capacity of the system is. That'll be fun too. We can do some little basic math here. We've got all these things that are turned off. We're not using them anymore. All these other boxes. But this guy is for memory. He's got 110 gigs available, right? That's going to drop down a little bit as we go. But if he's at 110, right, currently, and we do 4 per node, so if we go 4 times, yeah, we should be able to get away with 25 hammer blocks, right? I don't even need my calculator for that. I guess we could go 27, but 27 doesn't really matter. Let's just do 25 of the hammer blocks. I think that'll fit. I think that'll work fine. So, how do we do that, right? How do we go and make a bunch of hammer block nodes? Well, let's go up a little bit here. Show you guys. I just scroll up just a little bit here to where I was setting this up. When you first build a node, where's that? Where's that? Where's that? Right up here. When you first build a new node, where is the node set container build? Oh, apparently that's all I got. We can copy it. We can build it. That's node setting. Where did I do my node? That's where we set to Kafka. That's where we set those. There's where we built our different containers for each of those. But I need, hold on, I need where we actually made, oh, that's my bad. History node. All right, oops. Here's our node. All right, so what I was going to show you guys is when you want to make a bunch of them, right, you come up here, and I'm pretty sure I have them all back here. Yeah. You can add one node like this, right? Just add Kafka. And it looks like I did Kafka 70, so that's fine, out of the way. But if you want to set a bunch of them, I should be able to, it looks like I don't even have, looks like my history has wiped before this. What? I don't have all my history. Alright. That's fine. Let's go make all the other ones. Node add. Watch this. Boom. And we're going to hammer 2 through 25, right? And we're going to start them at 152, right? So it'll count up automatically for us. That's a thing that it's actually one of the nice things about Werewolf is that'll count up like that for us from 152. Oh gosh, I always fucking WWCTL. Node set. So it's going to add all of those, and then if I were to look for them again, I would see all of those. Damn it! I would see all of those there, and they're all discoverable. So what I'm going to do then is there's no, well, I guess there's no quicker way to do this. Let's just shut this guy down for a second. And shut down Hammer. And let's just clone him to Hammer 2 and then see if we can pop Hammer 2 up real quick. Still faster than other ways that we might... Oh. That's weird. Alright, Hammer 1 down. We're going to copy the VM within a pool. We're going to make it Hammer 2, right? We're just going to do a fast clone. We don't need to do anything else. That's fine. Fast clone. Alright. What's going on over here? We have lost that box. So we're going to do wwctl node list hammer 2 -a, and we're going to see that he is discoverable, true, and he's also ready to be cloned and come up. So we're going to turn him on, we're going to start him, and we're going to watch him at the console to verify he's going to come up and take hammer 2. You say, why would he take hammer 2 and not one of the other ones? Well, I'm hoping that this will just assign them in order. I'm pretty sure it'll assign them in order to the next one. Oh, one other thing real quick. I really need to also... He took hammer 10. So... It's not exactly how I want to do this, but... WCTL node list overlay build. Hammer 10. Why would it assign? That's so weird. It's like, why did you give... Yeah. Use an YAML with your hands. Yeah, I use YAML normally, yeah. I don't have any Ansible involved with this part right here. I do have Ansible in part of my other deploys that I do, but not this one. This one's just us shooting from the hip here. We're literally just bullshitting this one out. That's so funny. Once it gets assigned, you know what? We're just gonna call them all clones, and then we're just gonna let them name themselves, and then we'll just name them. Go back. This is not a clean way to do it, guys. This is just me in my home lab doing whatever the hell I want, right? Don't follow this for like, oh man, gosh, don't follow this for like real life stuff. This is me messing around in the home lab, all right? All right. So let's go. Let's jeez, hammer. He's gonna be hammer 10. All right, hammer 1 is going to. We're gonna copy him within the pool. We'll call him copy of hammer 1 for now. I don't care. We're gonna let them all pull up with whatever they want to come up as. C router, this guy can actually shut down, and we don't need to build him anymore. C router 2, going away. Start him. We'll give him a name after. Hammer 1, copy him. Then a pool. And yeah, that's fine. I don't really care what his names are. C router. We're gonna force shut down. We're gonna turn them off because we don't need them. Don't need a different router. We already got one. All right. So, how's he booting? He's coming up as hammer 11, so that's wonderful. Properties. Hammer. I don't know why. I don't know how it's picking any of those. Hey, Sobu, how's it going? We're not working too hard. We are building out in the home lab a bunch of systems, and it's actually funny. I just heard my system spin up pretty hard behind me. That's kind of cool. But oh, that's actually interesting because for the first time we're pushing it across to a different side of the network. So that's kind of, we are sending traffic down out of the system. I'm just gonna keep copying these. Copy hammer 1, perfect name. He is getting Hammer 12. Again, I don't know how they picked the names. We'll cancel that. Him. Properties, Hammer 12. Let's make a whole bunch of these. Right? We're just going to make all this. I think that it's spinning up so much because it's actually pushing the system across between the two devices. That's actually fine. We'll just keep letting these boot up. We'll just keep copying this. Not the most efficient way of doing things, but it's fine. See what this guy gets. I think he's going to get 13. So I guess I could start naming them off of that. Because I know that they're going to go all the way up 25, and then I guess they're going to count back again, I guess. Yep, he got 13. Properties, Hammer 13. Okay. This one, we'll start him up. And he's going to get 14, and then we'll just start enumerating them from that. You're almost 100% right about that, Glab. I bet, yeah, you're right. It does that same weird thing when you do this WWCTL node, WWCTL node list like that. It does that same thing. So you're 100% right. That's how it counts them weird. I could have, but yeah, we could have done that. He's getting 14. So we're just messing around right now anyways. So I'm not super worried about super like super efficiency, but he should be Hammer 15, this guy, right? We need 0, 1, 0, 2 to keep sort order. Yeah. That makes sense. I probably should have done that. I just you guys got to remember home lab gets kind of abused. Yeah, my home lab never gets the cleanest the cleanest build of anything. But I mean, it's, you know, we'll get it up and running. I'm just kind of maybe by me, you know, messing with this stuff, it helps some of you guys look at it and go, oh, I would do it better, and that's perfect. You know, I think a lot of you guys probably could do a lot of this stuff better, and I think that will help. Why did this one start up? This one was supposed to clone. He's still Hammer 1. He's gonna stay Hammer 1, but I don't know why he didn't. We want to shut him down. All right. Oh, Hammer 15's down. So we'll start him. Let's verify that we were right. We should be right. But. Let's go with 15. And by the way, they get assigned when they're discoverable, so then he'll stay that Mac for the rest of his life, unless we change him. All right, let's turn Hammer 1 off. Now you might say, Scott, why don't you keep copying the copy and keep going down? It's like, I like to just copy from the first one. You know, we'll just keep copying off the original. That's a little better, I think, for that. And then I can show you guys how we can just add this in. Yeah, then the copies. Yeah, copies of copies. I remember a thing, I was in like high school, and I remember, because there used to be, I don't know if there's still a lot of like comics in the newspaper, but when I was younger, there was still a newspaper, and it was still kind of well circulated. And I remember as a kid, I would always read the newspaper, right? I'd always read just the comics for the most part. And there was one where it was like, you know, it was God up in the clouds looking down on Earth, and it was an angel with him, And he goes, well, what do you expect? They're a bunch of copies of copies. And I just kind of thought that was funny. Because if you've ever copied paper and then copied it and copied it and copied it, it's kind of funny. So it was one of those ones that kind of amused me. All right, let's keep going. Copy it. Then a pool. And this should be hammer 16. Boom. Then we'll have to turn him on, and we'll just keep building them. Also, we can see the memory footprint of them slowly expanding out through the server, so that's kind of fun. Hammer 16. Start them up. Boom. Copy the next one. Should be hammer 17. Right? And actually, once we get them all in Werewolf, changing their names is actually easier than you would think. But just the first initial build of them takes a little bit here. All right. I can hear that system back there humming. Yeah, so this is me and my, I'm that little penguin down there just stuck in the server room building stuff out. That's my life. Make sure he got 16. Yep, he did. He should get 17, fair enough. We'll copy him. He's in the pool, hammer 18. And then what, we'll go 19, 2, and then 20. Yeah, that sounds right. We could always change it. Just it's fun to know that it's doing what we want it to do, right? Hammer 18. There's 17. And then we'll go. Hey, thanks for the follow, Cybo. Hopefully this stuff's useful to you, even though we're just messing around in the home lab tonight. What's my next one here? Hammer 20? Hammer 19. Make sure 18 got his 18. Yep. 19 should get his 19. Too easy. Also, we could be down here, tail-f on varlog secure, varlog werewolf D. Werewolf D will also kind of tell us what's going on. There was hammer 17. Now this guy's going to boot up. There's hammer 18 taking his stuff, right? And then the next one would be hammer 19, and he'll start taking his stuff. You'll actually see the DHCP as it gets sent over here. So this is coming up. It's doing DHCP request. Werewolf is responding, and then Werewolf is like, "Yeah, buddy, you're this box now, right?" And then he'll pull. So here's his DHCP request, and you'll see it pop up over here as he responds to 19. So he goes, "Here you go." Oh, it's still back on those ones. That's runtime stuff. Hold on. This guy is having a problem. 19's having a problem. How's 18 doing? 18's still coming up. 19 is having a problem. Alright. What's wrong with you, 19? He's got lab internal. Lab internal is off of this guy, the right VLAN. Yep, VLAN 1. So... yeah, no, we're going to hard boot him. Or reboot. See if he can go down and come back up. It's possible. Well, no, I don't know exactly why that would have happened. But let's let him reboot. He'll come back up. XEVM copy. Yeah. It's possible that other stuff was going down. Maybe his network just didn't. Yeah, here we go. He's 19. Good. All right. Up here, we should, this next one I think would be 2, right? So hammer 2. I think that's right. We'll find out here when he's done. But yeah, now we'll see him staging the file and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a fun little exercise if you're building a cluster that works with Werewolf. And by the way, guys, I was telling you, you know, I've been building in the last maybe 9 months. I've been almost exclusively just building new clusters for government customers, and working with Dell through my company Redline, and I've been building Werewolf on damn near everything. We put a couple of Bright clusters out there. Bright is an NVIDIA technology, which I think is being called Commander now or something, or Captain or something. I don't know. But oh, sorry guys, I'm yawning. But it's to me, it's interesting that, yeah, I'm curious if this one will go to 2 or 20. I was thinking because of their numbering it would go to 2, but I could be wrong, guys. I'm often wrong. So if it does go 2, then it will go up to 25. Oh, took 2. Okay, so then I think we'll do 20, right? That took 2, and then we'll say within a pool here, and hammer 20. I think would be the next one. So we'll give that. So 2 is coming up. 2 is building the stuff. Okay, good. 2. You also see him provisioning 2 down here. This is the Werewolf log right here of everything that's pulling out of iPixie. iPixie boot and then TFTP, right? So that's a process also, interestingly enough, if you ever go to Sumatra. Sumatra is a tool for PDFs and stuff. And you go to your Linux, right? And then, where is it? You need to know... booting. Hold on. So there's booting. And then you need to know how... I don't see iPixie. I don't see TFTP either. It used to be. I was looking at this the other day. So these are the CompTIA Linux Plus, if you're going to go take one of these. And I'm pretty sure they have on their booting, you need to know... Yeah, the different boot processes. Here. So boot sources like Pixie, or booting from a USB, or booting from an ISO. And just understand like what we're doing here. We're booting over a pre-boot execution environment, or iPixie, right? Pixie is what, you know, they're calling it, but iPixie is what most of us kind of call it. And then it goes. So okay. So hammer 2. Let's go. Let's check. Let's turn on and hope hammer 20 does what I think it's going to do. We can also see it down here. But yeah, these are things you need to know if you're... I was helping people get ready for Linux Plus and also Security Plus, right? So I had a bunch of stuff up for Security Plus here. You know, what do you need to know? What are the scenarios and that kind of stuff? So, I don't think I've typed this command in a long time, but if anybody cares, sometimes people care. Those are my certs right there. Yeah, it went to 20. All right. So hammer 20, and then this next one will be copy VM hammer 21. Right. Then we'll just keep booting them up. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Oh, you guys on the YouTube, you don't get to see the cool command. It just says that I got a bunch of certs that people don't care about, but sometimes people do. Sometimes management cares. Oh, yeah, when you work with the government cares. Because you need, like if you want to deal with ISSOs, your information system security officers, they always have CISSP in their email signatures. So sometimes I send it back, just in case they forget that they're not the only ones with a CISSP. 21. All right, so it took 21. All right, let's keep going. Copy, pool, hammer 22. We'll go up to 25, and then we'll drop back down to... Yeah, Chingo Pi. I don't know if you were around when I was talking about it, but or Chingo Opa. I That's why I got my CISSP, was to put it in my email responses to security teams that I couldn't stand. Like I was. Oh, you were around for? Yeah, that's. I literally spent $795 of my own money, and then some of my company's money to go to the little boot camp thing. But it was kind of cool because they were hosting the boot camp at my college, and because they were hosting it at the college, and because I teach there, they gave me like I think I got like a 60% off. So I basically just got to go sit at the class for like $1,000, which was a pretty good deal because I think it was like, yeah, it was like almost $3,000, and I got a pretty good amount off, and then I got my company to pay for it, give me the time off to study, and then I went and passed it. So it was kind of nice, yeah, yeah. But that was also, yeah, just because I wanted to talk trash to my security team that were just always, they were just always bugging me, especially that kernel thing I've talked to you guys about. Like they would explain that like the Linux kernel is there, therefore it's vulnerable, and I would explain no, it's the old Linux kernel that sits in the trunk that's only there in an emergency to get us back moving, and then we would get immediately off it. But they would say, well, the scanner says, and I'd be like, well, your scanner's an idiot because your scanner's just saying there's a kernel there with a vulnerability, and we know that. We know it's got a vulnerability. We need a backup kernel. You can't run an operational enterprise system with no backup kernel. Like, you've been running on this working kernel for the last 6 months or a year. You're not going to boot to the new one and not keep the old one long enough to make sure you're stable. That's insanity. That scanner in particular was Qualys, but I'm not blaming Qualys. Because I'm pretty sure Nessus would have found the same thing. But to just blacklist that would have been super easy. Like, because it just takes a little bit of understanding of systems to know you can't just have one kernel. If you have one kernel, that's fine. If you're if you're the praying type and you're like, all right, I'm gonna pray these servers up and they're gonna stay up. Okay, I mean, yeah, sure. But for like engineering, we have to have a way to know our systems are going to be up and good. You know, I got no problem with the praying part. I'm just saying it's like that can't be your plan for server stuff. Yeah, server team. Yeah, well, the security team doing anything in a lot of cases is like they're just a lot of time. I mean, I hate to say it, but a lot of teams you're going to deal with in your career are just going to be tool monkeys. They're just going to come around and hammer their tool into whatever, holes that they're allowed to do it. They're just going to be sitting there like hammering square blocks into round holes, and they're not. But there's no understanding of what's happening, and that's a problem. Like, we can't just be blindly secure. We can't just be blindly, whatever. Did this one tell us what it was going to be? I think we saw 22, right? So yeah, we'll go to 23 then. Copy VM within the pool. Make him hammer 23. Boom. Names aren't hard to change if we have to. It's just trying to be as accurate as we can. So yeah, Qualys is a good tool. I don't think it's bad. It's Qualys. Qualys. And then I had a buddy that was over there, and he just left there to be a CISO at another company. I actually told him when he got all settled in, which was a few months ago, so I'm going to need to message him. He was going to come talk to the Linux group. So we have like guest speakers down in the Prolog Linux group. And I try to get guys that are like in the industry to come talk to you guys. Hold on. I need a water. Give me 1 second. Also, guys, I can't believe how hot my office is right now. Phoenix got to 70 degrees today, so I had to turn the AC on at one point. It was like 73 in my house. Nessus isn't bad. Yeah, this was looking at, so if you're just on a box, This was just looking at all the old ones and then finding, you know, older kernels there, even if you're not using them, and then they were just going nuts. Cybo, I got a good buddy that's out in Maricopa. He's got a house out there. He does data analytics stuff. So, yep, he's out there doing the Maricopa thing. He likes that he can just drive to like the end of the street and go shooting. He doesn't have to go very far to shoot. All right. Did all of our boxes? Oh, let's turn this guy on while these ones are going, and make sure. And then we'll start 24. Did I start him? Didn't mean to do that. If I did, watch him boot. He should be hammer 23. Go all the way up to 25. And then I'll show you guys. Yep. Let's see. That's 23. 23 is coming up. Good. Turn this guy off. Force shutdown. Boom. Hammer 1 can go down. We'll let him go down nice. A little nicer. Yeah, it's one of the best reasons to live in Maricopa. Also, I think they're building some new, there's a new, like, I don't think it's the 303 that's going out there, but there's like a new, it's going to start at the I-10, it's going to go around Maricopa, and then it's going to shoot all the way up to Vegas. So there's like a new interstate that's going to bypass Phoenix, take some of the pressure off of Phoenix, but bring more traffic through Maricopa, so, you know, possibly grow that area out a little bit. So if any of you don't know what I'm talking about, go pull up a map of Phoenix, go pull up a map of Google Maps, and go a little south of Phoenix. It's not very far if you're on a pretty grand scale, but if you're zoomed in, it's, I don't know, what, 30, 40 miles south. Not too bad. It's actually, it's a good friend of mine, so I'll go out there every now and then and hang out with him and the family and stuff. All right, let's make sure that one got hammer 23. It did, yeah, it did. So this one's going to be hammer 24. And don't worry, guys, we never have to do this again once we do it. Pull up hammer 24, boot them up. We can be over here. Let's SSH into werewolf again. I think that sometimes I don't, hold on. We do this. Sometimes I don't have set up, so I don't go in as root to this box because he's so important. We only can come in as a lower user and then sudo up. So I wanted to show you guys this real quick while we're sitting here waiting. In this node, I have Ansible. So vi etc Ansible hosts, right? And down here now we've got servers. So now we're going to have hammer, and we're going to have 1 to 25. And this data true thing was us messing around a while back. So here's going to be all of our servers, right? So we're going to have the Rocky servers and the Hammer servers now. So coming up, Hammer 23, Hammer 24. Let's boot him up. Start him up. Whoops. Start him up. And then over here, I can now say Ansible servers, right? -m shell -a uptime. And let's see what we're going to get. A lot of red, guys. There's a lot of nodes that aren't up yet. But the nodes that are up should give us a pretty clean little. So here's our Rocky boxes. It's going to go through the Rocky ones first. They're all clean. And then we're getting all the Hammer that are busted, right? And then here's the ones that are up. That's the more busted. And then we'll come back around. Okay, so now, what you might not have caught there as you kind of look at that and go, okay, that's interesting output. We know these aren't all up. We know that they're not all going to respond yet. But you might have noticed, like, okay, it went 1, 4, 2, 3, 5. And then it went 6, 7, 9, 10, 8. the default fork number for Ansible is 5, right? So when we did this command like this, 5 at a time, we're kicked off, right? But just because 5 at a time were kicked off does not mean that they were going to come back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was basically, if any of you guys have ever seen the game Hungry Hungry Hippos, where you drop the little balls and the little hippos eat everything. It's like whoever could get back first. It's a race, right? It's a if you want to think of it, it's an asynchronous call against 5 hosts. When they're all done, we go to the next 5. That's the way Ansible does it. And you say, how do you know that for sure, Scott? Well, because sometimes the node will hang, and it will hang your whole night until you go and you kill that one process. And it's super annoying when it happens, especially if you're trying to patch like thousands of servers at a time. But I can do this. I can say -F20, and I can do 20 at a time. So I would expect Rocky 1 through 19, well, 1 through Hammer 1, to all go at the same time right now. And they would all race to get back to me. But Hammer 1 will fail, so he may be the first one down. And then we'll get whatever order, and then it'll go to the next 20, right? So boom, raced. And now if we go look, whereas before I knew 100% for certain it was going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in some order, and then it was going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in some order. Now, if we go up here, it was 12, 6, 3, 5, 9, 7, 15, 2, 1, 16, 10, 18. It's like I'm calling out Powerball numbers. 13, 8, 11, 4, and then hammer block. So it was doing big blocks of 20. So you have to, this is one of these things where, oh, this is 20 at a time, right? So you have to know like how your system works, because you have to tune how you run Ansible in an operational environment, right? These are the things that you're not going to like, you might read these somewhere maybe, but these things you like learn these out like, I don't know, there's no other way than the School of Hard Knocks, right? Or somebody showing these to you. And that's what I'm trying to do and show you guys. So anyways, let's keep putting our nodes up. Let's make sure he got 24, which he should have. By the way, I can just SSH to hammer 24, right? Boom. Whoops. Oh, so fun thing about that. That's real weird. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, we'll work that out here in a second. All right. So then we'll copy, we'll make him hammer 25, and then we'll go back around through. So we'll do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Which is, this is like watching paint dry, but it's fun to me. I'm having fun. Why is that not? So we go cat etc hosts, and you'll notice that you don't see all those nodes yet. So there's actually a werewolf command. We just configure. Oh, configure. We can just configure hosts. Host file. So it'll go, and it'll now, if we were to cat etc host grep for hammer 24, we would find hammer 24 in there. It wasn't in there a second ago. Hammer 25, start up. You are called. And then we'll go hammer 3. Did I start him again? Gosh. I thought I was cloning him. Yeah, I didn't mean to boot him. Force shutdown. Go back down. Poor node's going to have a complex when we're done with it. 25. Good. All right. There we see him grabbing 25. Perfect. Let that guy come down. And then we should be able to then just SSH to hammer 24. Uptime. Who am I? Right? He gets all of the same stuff as the other nodes in the environment. All the same storage and everything. So, oh, and they're all booted off of the wrong node. And you say, how do you know that you're booted off the old one? Oh yeah, it all costs money. You're always welcome to hang out and lurk. I think lurking's the backbone of Twitch, right? You don't have to talk if you don't want, but you're always welcome to. Um, yeah, I hope you pick up stuff. I hope you pick up. Yeah, hello NEAI. There was a weird thing for people that don't know. If you ever get over 10,000, they call them subscribers on the YouTube side. If you ever get over 10,000 of those, then they ask you. They did this to me a few months ago because I've been over 10,000 for a few months. But they asked me, do you want to use your likeness to train AI? Like, do you want to let people use your likeness in your streams to train AI? And I was like, I don't, I don't know that I want to do all that. Like, I mean, I guess I don't really have a problem with it. I don't know why I would opt in on that, like, for no reason, you know? It seems kind of weird. Yeah, like, I mean, I think people would do it anyways if they wanted to. But if that's like a YouTube approved thing, you'd think that would be as like part of like there would be some kind of like benefit to doing it, right? Like why would, you know, I don't know. Seemed weird to me. Copy VM Hammer 3. Hammer 3 is the next one that I think it should be. But we'll see here. And then if it is 3, it'll be 4 through 9. Those will be our last ones that we have to make. And then we'll hit our Ansible off again just to make sure. And we'll do, you know, this will be 20 at a time. And we'll see all of our nodes come back clean, right, in the environment. And then we can also split those out. Instead of just servers, we can also have Hammer, you know, our Hammer block and also our Rocky servers. And then we can touch each of those groups of servers individually, right? So here's Hammer 3. Let's start them up. I think this one will turn back off. Let's watch them at the console. We'll also see them over here. Now you might say, well, why is Kafka doing anything? We didn't restart Kafka. Well, they pull their runtime every 10 minutes in our cluster. Yeah, there's 3. All right. So I think we got a good pattern here. But runtime overlays get run every 10 minutes. It's configurable. In our cluster, it's every 10 minutes. So if you wanted to see that, we'd just more Etsy werewolf.conf, right? And in here, we can see the update interval. That's every 10 minutes right there. And then we can go and we can look at how DHCP is configured. Oh, it's interesting that the range ends. I need to change this range for DHCP, but it's fine for now. We'll be fine for now. And actually, that's probably why that one node failed that one time, but we're not going to worry about it. We'll just power through. Come on, man. Why do you keep turning back on Hammer? We'll do Hammer 4 through 9 now. So, yeah, and like, I mean, normally I'd just be building out this lab stuff and messing with stuff on my own, but since I got a captive audience, we'll just kind of hang out here. I haven't shown you guys the Discord in a bit. There's Discord. Link it over on YouTube. You guys are welcome to hang out down there. I think that I have a skill of picking up better engineers than myself. So I have pretty good engineers down there hanging out, talking shop. Let's be Hammer 4. Hopefully I spelled hammer right. And then we'll finish filling this up. Got into it earlier, but need some time to look everything over. Good. Yeah, you guys are... Oh, yeah, it'll take a while. I mean, that Discord's been up for almost 6 years, so there's a lot of stuff. I mean, I tell people, take your time. There's a couple of places to go to start. Give people a place to look at. And there's always the memes. Go to memes and jokes. That's where I mostly hang out. I joke around. I have joked for many years that I mostly just start the server. I mostly started it so I could have a meme farm. I'm trying to get it to be like self-running. It all costs money. Are you needing VLAN setup help through like networking equipment, or are you trying to do it inside of some type of device? How are you doing it? And then I guess that would inform Uh-oh, uh-oh. What was that? That's a weird... Oh, we got a weird error there. All right, hammer 5. Copy VM. Cool. Hammer 5. 5. Boom. That's a switch. So, I wish I could go... I don't have a switch that I can go into right now to show you. Like, I have customer switches, but I can't pull up their stuff and show it to you guys, unfortunately. It's layer 3 managed switch. Fiber Friday gives you an EO router. I can't figure out how to make them do the things. Are they all local? Like, are you on site where you can touch them if something happens? So it's all yours and it's all internal. Are you going to be around tomorrow at all? Are you going to be on the Discord at all tomorrow for any of the meetings? Yeah, well, we got like meetings tomorrow on Discord for people. Yeah, we're just hanging out and working on stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's the writer's room. These are the guys building out the Linux system stuff. Normally, I have like a 3 o'clock, like a standing 3 o'clock, but I didn't set it up. So, I hadn't thought about... I had thought about doing it. I just hadn't turned it on and put it on there. I don't know if you can make it to 3 o'clock Phoenix time. But if you can make it, we could go over that. If you don't mind showing it to people, if you don't mind sharing, and then we walk through it. But VLAN stuff, I mean, for the most part, we work at 4:30 Central. I want to say that's right around that time. Shoot. Well, I mean, you can always, by the way, you can always ask in the networking channel and see if anybody pops up. If not, I definitely can try to find some time. We got a 3-day weekend. I'll be on. I'll be around. Yeah, like if you don't mind showing the interface and stuff and doing that. But yeah, for VLAN stuff, you know, it's what is it, 802.1q tagging, and then really you just, I mean, at the end of the day, it's make sure it's the same on both. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing VLANs for 20-something years, networking, right? So it's, yeah, as long as you can get into everything, and as long as you have a way to connect if something goes down. Like, I wouldn't want you to be working on something remote and have to drive around town to get it to come up, right? Let's make sure. This is 5. Yeah, he should be. We got hammer 4, hammer 4. Oops. Make sure the last one was 5. Yep, 5's up. Okay. So then we're going to go and start up 6. Copy, pull, hammer 6. Yeah, Tigrail. I gotta keep. I gotta keep keeping myself in the systems, you know, to keep myself sharp. I mean, but I'm one of these guys. I would be tinkering with this stuff even if they weren't paying me for it. But since people pay me for it, I mean, I think that even makes it more fun for me. But yeah, this is, by the way, a lot of this stuff I'm doing it a little slower because it's in the home lab. I didn't like write any scripts or anything to do it, but this is similar to stuff that I do out in the cloud space. There's a difference that I'm doing here too, though, is I'm allowing these to be auto discovered, so that's why we're going down in order. I didn't show you guys this, but I could have set all the MAC addresses for these, but I don't know all the MAC addresses for these. So like on the Dell systems I work on, I know all 300 MAC addresses, and I can set them in a script when I generate the nodes. So as you saw me like generate that node earlier, or that node list, and I just kind of popped in there, I could have dropped in, I would have ran it over in a script, and just looped over and pulled out all the MAC addresses and hard set them. This one, I'm just letting it enumerate and give whichever one it wants, right? If that makes sense. But yeah, in a professional setting, this is much. I don't want to say much more clean. It's just it makes sense to the system. Hammer 6 would be a hard set physical box that was Hammer 6. This box didn't have. Oh, did I already have 6? Damn it. We'll change them to 7. 6 should be coming up now. We'll make this one. Oh, I'm surprised they let me pick the same damn name. All right, Hammer 7. All right, Hammer 7. And then he will start up, and then he will be the next node. And we'll go ahead and start making Hammer 8. Here's Hammer 7. He should come up correctly, we hope. Tiger Ellie said, I tinker at home, but I've gotten into music, which I got in computers in the 80s. Oh, you know who you would love is Sid Heresy. Have you ever seen his stuff? Hold on. Yeah, if you've never seen his stuff, is he on right now? No, he's not on right now. I'll link his stuff. That's his channel. He does all electronic. He does all. He looks like my little penguin down there on the bottom. He does soldering and he does synth type devices and boards and audio and music engineering and stuff. He sometimes plays on stream. He's one of my favorite guys to go raid over to if you guys haven't been here when I raided over to him. I like his stuff. Yeah, I hang out in there, and when you raid, he goes raid, and he holds it for a long time until his lungs are burning for sure. It's kind of funny. His stuff's really good. If you guys follow him, that's pretty good. Hammer 8. Let's start up Hammer 8. Start it up. Watch him come up clean. We will start a Hammer 9 copy. We got more efficient near the end there, didn't we? So here's Hammer 8. We'll see him start right. And then now we'll have them all. And we'll do Control A tab. And we'll come up here. And when this is done, that'll be 20 at a time, we will have all the nodes nice and clean in my whole environment with nice uptimes. So we should see 8 getting grabbed down here. Yeah, here's Hammer 8 getting grabbed. Hammer 8 over here. Good. We'll go turn on number 9. And then 1 will have no conflicts because 1 already has his system. So we'll just watch and make sure 9 comes up. And then we should be able to come over here and say, I don't know, let's say sleep. Let's go 180. Let's give this system about 3 minutes to get everything else up. Once we see the Hammer 9, and we know that Hammer 9 is allocated. Yep, there we go. We're going to give it 180 seconds to see if this box, see if all these nodes can be completely happy and healthy. Let's come over here too to memory. I think we could probably squeeze 5 more in there. Now he's got available memory of only 117, so we could get 4 more in there. But we're fine. We're fine. We got 25 of these that we can do stuff with if we wanted to. Make sure 9's coming up. Good. 9's coming up. 1 is still 1, so he should be coming up. Good. All right. Now we just kind of sit here, and I got a little sleep on 180, hanging out, waiting for Ansible to come up. By the way, I've linked you guys Discord, so you guys got Discord if you want, but you're welcome to hang out down there. I tell you guys all the time, yeah, there's good engineers in there, good guys that have been doing this, people that can help you out with stuff. Mostly we're trying to get you guys doing this stuff professionally, if that's your goal. You know, you don't just have to do this stuff as a hobby. You can get in here and work in this space if it's interesting to you, you know. So Yeah, so we've bumped this cluster up. We've doubled and then some the size of the cluster. Because we used to have just the one Rocky node, and then we had the Hammer. We didn't have any Hammer nodes. We had the Rocky 1 through 19 nodes, which were over here, drawing. And now we're down to Hammer, should be Hammer 25. 25. And that should go up to 175 in that environment. So that's where we're at with that. And then it's not even planned anymore. It's now all done. Like, we did it while we were kind of hanging out here. Let's go check. Hammer 1's almost up. Hammer 9's almost up. And the sleep will finish, and then it'll do 20 of these at a time. So we'll see a fully clean network. Tiger, you said you got your degree in certs and then taught for 7 years. Did you teach upper or lower? I don't know how to say lower education. Oh, hold on, we got an error over here of some type. Oh, okay. It's just FS tab stuff. That's fine. Did you work with kids, high school or college? I've taught 16 years at the college level. That's why I ask. Big fan of teaching college. State technical, okay. That kicked off. Oh, some were busted. Hammer 1's not up all the way. Hammer 1's not up all the way yet. Neither is 9 or 8. 8 I would have thought was booted. He's still sitting there. So okay, we got a little bit of time. Yeah. So yeah, once you've, I think teaching college opens up. I don't want to say it wants to open up your eyes or anything, but I'm saying it like, shows you that I think all teaching's the same. whether I'm teaching an adult or I'm teaching a child, I think it's pretty much the same. As far as they're gonna all need their nose wiped, right? They're all gonna need to not be. You can't be too harsh on them, but no, it's interesting though. I do enjoy teaching. That's probably my favorite thing to do. As in engineering, probably my favorite thing to do is teach and or mentor our younger engineers. All right, these nodes might have problems. 9, are you busted? No, you're coming up. 1, are you busted? No, they're just taking their time. Oh, nice. Yeah, well, I tell people all the time, man, you're never gonna retire teaching. Like my teaching salary, and I'm not even salaried as a teacher because technically they pay me hourly like an outside contractor, even though I'm an employee with the college. Been an employee with the college I've been with DeVry for 9 years, and then I was 7 years with a company that doesn't exist anymore called ITT Tech back in the earlier time. But oh, is that thing gonna boot? These guys are just taking forever. All right, Hammer 1's up. Hold on. Hammer 8 up. Hammer 9 up. I expect all these to come back clean. Oh, let's see. Is the wife coming home? All right. Since we're starting out making more than we were at 70. Yeah. That's the thing is like, I tell people, like, if you know what I make as an engineer, and I've been an engineer for 20 years, and then you find out what I make teaching, you would go, well, that's definitely labor of love. Because, yeah, I mean, it's like, the hourly's like a fifth the pay. It's like literally most people wouldn't roll out of bed for it. But I like it, and I tell you guys all the time, it keeps me sharp, man. Like I have to think through the stuff that I build. I have to think through like how I want to show this stuff to people. Um, taught security. Nice. Yeah, Tiger, we have in our Discord. We have so much crap in our Discord, but um, just a lot of stuff for people. It can overwhelm people. We've got some beginner stuff here, like people that are trying to just get into the industry, and there's a bunch of free certs for people and stuff. But then we run a Linux sysadmin course that I just put together at the end of last year, and that's going. We're going to do that one again. So um, people have said, I mean, I enjoy hearing feedback from people. People have said that they thought that this was better than college classes that they had, and I said, well, that's not surprising. I had one college class on Linux when I was going to college, and I didn't learn hardly anything from it. I learned most of my Linux in the wild later. So, I learned good engineering in college, but I didn't learn this stuff in college. So I'm trying to make the way a little easier for the rest of the people, and then we run it like a college class. For some of you guys that haven't seen it, let me pull up if you guys haven't seen it. Here's the syllabus for it, right? There's an actual syllabus, and the syllabus looks like this, right? Here's what we're going to do in the course. Here's the credit hours and the theory and the lab and the time you're going to spend. Here's all the topics and course objectives, things you need. Here's how you connect, right? Here's the method for connecting and stuff. And then down here, this is the actual class schedule. Yeah, it's free. Tigro, we run it for free down in the Discord. So if anybody wants to do it, this was the old dates. So these were the dates. This was literally us putting it together and doing it up until December 2004. And then the new dates are going to start March. If you guys haven't, not everybody does a lot with Discord, but you can just come in and say you're interested, and it'll let you know when these things are all coming up. So it's going to be, every week, and then you got your assignment, you got your lab, and then you've got a discussion post for people. So yeah, this one's a good one, I think. I mean, I'm a little biased because I wrote it, but also I worked with a lot of people who were really interested in this stuff, and I had questions, and then you had to go answer in threads. And it's funny because like we got down to where as it got later on, less and less people, like I can see the fervor at the beginning for like I said, hey, you're gonna have to post these every week, and the first couple weeks. 24 messages. That's in Unit 5, right? We're already whittled down. But we had 81 messages in the second week. The first week we had 67 messages. Oh, that's the second week. First week we had 84 and 128. 128 people well, you also had to respond, so that means 64 people approximately. Came in here and answered questions and talked to each other, and we're like, oh, I didn't know that, and I didn't think of that perspective and stuff, that kind of stuff. So, I do have for people who are like, hey, I can't stand listening for another second. We have Killer Coda is one of the best things on the web. I love showing people Killer Coda. This is our Linux stuff out here, so I'll link this to people that want it. This is just hands-on stuff. Like you just come in here and you could just go do hands-on, especially if you're just knocking off the dust for Linux and go, okay, here's looking around in the Linux system. And my favorite thing about Killer Coda is it's free. And then my second favorite thing is they let me build labs out there, and then you can just go in there and you can just be like, oh, how's this? What's this? You're a new system admin at a company. You've been tasked with finding out information about a set of servers that nobody's documented. Well, there's lesson 1 on being a Linux admin, because that's going to be your life literally everywhere you go. They're just going to, like, I joke around a lot about this, but it's true. Your manager's going to be standing over you, and he's going to be like, here's access to the system, and you're going to get in, and you're going to say, I'm in. And then you're going to say this to him. You're going to say, hey, do we have any documentation on this? And he's going to tap you on the shoulder. He's going to pat you on the shoulder like this and go, you guys can't see me, but it's like, oh, you. And he's going to turn around and walk out. And now it's going to be your system, and that's what you're going to do, right? Tigreal, this tool I'm using is a very specific tool that's kind of coming up in the industry, and that's why I like to show it to you guys. No, but this is, I'm doing a very specific thing in my lab. But Linux itself is still, go check the version of the operating system, check the kernel you're on, check the uptime of the system, check how it was booted, you know, do a D message, you know, and pipe that through like a Moore so it doesn't go off the screen, and then see how the system started. And the 0 second is from as the system was booted, and you can say by the first second, by the end of the first second, all these things had been done. This is the end of the first second right here of the kernel being on. Oh, I'm Octu. No, you're not derailing. Hold on. This is the free certs that I know of that we have all went, a bunch of us have went and gotten it, or I just know that they're good, are down in the beginner start here section. So if you go hop in the Discord and go here, here's 6 certs that you can get for free. And if you do the API Academy one, we have a really good, one of our guys put together a really good study guide on this, and it'll get there. This will help you. This takes you back over to here to the, and these are all free. Download them, do whatever you want. But then yeah, and then come back here, and these ones, by the way, like APIs, even if you're a Linux engineer, you're gonna have to hit APIs. Chaos engineering is for the guys that want to go a little more SRE type stuff, site reliability engineering. But again, base is all Linux, right? Six Sigma and Lean Six Sigma are just things that I think engineers should know. And I think, like, because people ask me, like, hey, I don't just want to be an admin, I want to go over and be an engineer. And I say, okay, well, you need to have some engineering discipline. If you're not going to go to, like, college and get it, go here, because these are at least free. And they'll teach you about processes and how things work and how you run through. And, you know, for example, I'll pull something up. This is from our Prolog presentations. Oh, no. Hold on. I got to go up one. From our Linux sysadmin course. I want to say it was one of our last weeks. So let me see if it was this one. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Yeah. So it was this one. So give me a second here. Let me get this out of the way. Very bright, I know. So Six Sigma stuff, right? Go. These are free. IPv6, that's free, as is the Certified in Cybersecurity. That's also free for the first million. I don't know how far in they are on that, but they're pretty far along. Here, check this out. I'll pull this up. I'm not going to go through all this right now. There is a recording of this. There's a channel on YouTube that gives you guys all these the 16 weeks, right? And let me just show you guys this real quick. Announcements, if we had any announcements. I asked you guys about Six Sigma and Visual, and then the worksheet, the lab, the project. We're not going through all of it right now, but when we get down into like understanding data, administrative troubleshooting, how do we troubleshoot stuff? How do we react to fix things? And I always try to tell you guys, you don't need to know every troubleshooting methodology on planet Earth, but you should know some of them. James, I still think Six Sigma is pretty valid. There's a lot. I didn't see it on industrial security, but a lot of production methodology still uses Six Sigma. Yeah, it's really effective. But yeah, I mean, if it didn't take somewhere for like security, it's definitely still a process manufacturing type thing. But anyways, stepping through the OSI model, how does that work? I'm not going through all this right now. We have, again, a recording on it. But engineering troubleshooting, failure modes and effects analysis, I walk you guys through all that. But I wanted to show you guys plan, do, check, act. That comes from Six Sigma. That's part of Deming's methodologies. SIPOC diagrams. So if you don't understand how your processes work, so Deming famously said, if you can't describe everything you do as a set of steps, you don't know what you're doing. So what that means is, like, if you can't describe everything as a set of inputs, processes, and outputs, you probably don't know what you're doing, right? It's definitely true in computer science, right? You're always doing these three things. But then suppliers are who may be weighted over here and who may be pulling over here, right? So SIPOC diagrams are useful for like understanding processes. And then, then we had Christmas, so we didn't give a lab that week. But the reason I pulled that up is these are things that you pick up doing engineering, right? And again, if you want to hear me talk through all that for an hour, there's a talk on that out on the web. But where I was going earlier with Killer Code is this is for people who are maybe you're a little more advanced or you've been through it. So now you can just come in here. You can just come in here and look at how system is working and ask yourself questions about, what are you seeing? What does it mean to be under high load? What do these numbers mean? And you can go read the man on VMstat to read some more information about that, right? MP-stat, we'll do some similar stuff there, right? All right. So anyways, that's stuff that's out there on Killer Coda. All right, let's check this real quick. I just want to check all the nodes again, make sure they're all good. All right, all our nodes are up. Everything's happy. Wait. No, hold on. Yeah, all our nodes are up. Good. Happy nodes. They're all good. So now we could make changes here. We can do what is the more effective way, which is to change the systems here. And I already know that I need to reboot these machines because look, they're not on the right. They're not on the right system. So watch this. Exit wctl node list -a. grep-i for container, and then more. So now we'll say, okay, these hammer nodes are on that Rocky Linux 9, which is the old lab. So are all these ones, but now the Rocky nodes are on this. So we got to go change them over to the right. We got to go change all those hammer nodes over and then reboot them, right? Yeah, Tiger. I think really you just have to. A lot of people just the confidence to get back out there and do some of this stuff. Saibo, you said any recommendations for breaking out of healthcare IT as a systems engineer, transitioning into more engineering work like this? Should I be networking with more people to get my name out there? Yeah, I don't have. I would definitely recommend finding people doing things that are similar to what you want to. Like Saibo, if you're trying to go, let's say you just want to do maybe even like high performance compute, because technically the industry I'm in is in it's high performance compute, right? That's technically what I do. In my home lab, it's a little microcosm of the high performance computers work that I work on, right? Because in my home lab, I don't have all the fast InfiniBand connections and the back-end storage and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, finding, things that are interesting, finding people that are talking about the stuff that you kind of want to get into so you can go find the, the technologies and the things that people are using. I 100% would look at how Werewolf works because that's really big, or it's getting bigger. I would know how Bright works. I would know NVIDIA stuff. I actually have a whole talk that I did a while back on how high performance compute, like the topics, and I need to redo that talk for you guys. I just haven't had time. Plus, so you guys know I've been working on my doctorate, but I'm probably going to be, I'm definitely not staying at the college I was at, so I'm probably going to end up switching colleges, so that won't move me back too far. I'll probably still be finishing it at the end of 26, early 27. So that's going, and I've had a little bit of break this last month and a half where I haven't been working on that. So I'll be getting back into that. So that'll be a lot of heads down studying on that. But you guys know I use the home lab for all kinds of different project stuff. So I will keep, these nodes will be available all throughout the course that's coming up, though. So the Rocky and then the Hammer nodes, we can change their names too. It's super easy to change their names now that we got them all built. But we've got all those, so that'll be good. All right. Other than that, let me let's see if there's anybody we want to raid over to. I'll probably be done for the night. Hopefully this stuff again is useful to you guys. Feel free to hang out and ask questions or talk to people down in the Discord. I try to keep all the more senior people pretty friendly. I tell everybody like, hey, think about how it was for you when you started this stuff, right? Like it was a mess, right? Like we were just trying to keep ourselves above water. So don't be hammering the new guys. So I always tell people to work with people and try to make this stuff better. Remember where all of us were at and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna go to my little end of stream, and on the Twitch side, let's go find somebody to raid. Who's doing stuff out there in the world? Who am I following that's doing stuff? We'll go raid over to Triple Jump Games. If you guys haven't been over there, he does some coding on stream and he plays a little bit of a cool little game that he's put together. So we'll go raid over to him. And I appreciate you guys coming by, and I will talk to some of you guys this weekend. All right, take care, everyone.